What's up, everybody? It's Cool Sports Guy here. Welcome to my green screen mess of a room here. We're here going to be discussing playoff predictions for the year. Joining me, none other than the man, Tom. How are you today, sir?
I am great. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. And let's also not forget about our esteemed co-host, Jared. How's it going, sir?
Doing pretty good.
Awesome. Well, we are 1 week away, 7 days from the NFL kickoff. A really exciting time right now. So today we're going to just be diving in and we came really close to the hour mark last week. So I'm going to just, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and skip right into the presentation at hand, playoff predictions. We're going to go through all the stuff. How you guys feel about this year? Who's y'all ready for playoffs? Or y'all ready for the football?
I feel like there are too many contenders from the AFC, and it was hard to choose. And then from the NFC, it's like between three teams, pretty much.
Yep, pretty much, yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, sounds like a pretty good one. Well, I spoiled it for everybody, so we all know who Tom's first. That's a fourth seed and the fifth seed. That's pretty low for Tom Brady there. What's the reason behind this, Tom? Can you explain?
Yeah, so listen, the reason behind it is I'm just being realistic here. I think Bucks have a very tough schedule coming up. They lost a couple of key components, especially on the offense. So, and we all know if offensive line isn't there healthy and connected with Brady, then Brady tends to not do the best job. Will they figure it out? Yeah, absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I think the Saints scare me a little bit. I'm not giving them enough credit as I should, but overall they do scare me. But besides them, I don't think there are the Panthers and the Falcons. I'm not too worried about them. And I think the Bucks are going to end up winning the division because of that, but not with that high of a record. They have a very tough schedule coming up. They play the Packers, they play the Chiefs, they play the Rams, I know it seems like a joke of a game because Brady's never lost to the Cowboys before, but they play the Cowboys, and that game right now, with how prepared the Bucs are going into Week 1, I can very well see, that game going either way. Now, listen, come game time, am I willing to bet against Brady on any of these games? Absolutely not. But overall, when you look at the season, there are some tough games in there. I don't think they're going to have the best record, but given the division and the rest of the teams, I think they're still going to win and make the playoffs from their division. I think that's the only team from that division that's going to make the playoffs because obviously somebody has to. So yes, they are number 4. They're going to be playing the Vikings. Vikings are doing a lot of great things, and I really, really want to say, man, the Vikings can easily pull off an upset over the Packers, I guess you can say, and win the division. But listen, as many times as Aaron Rodgers haven't come through in the playoffs, more often than anybody typically comes through during regular season, as long as he's healthy, of course. And at the end of the day, it might be by just a game. I think Packers are going to still take the division. Vikings will get a wild card round. I do have them as a number 5 seed, so they're still going to be a pretty solid wild card. I think it'll be a pretty good matchup between the two.
All right.
And yes, of course, you already have it up there, so I'm just going to say Packers will be the number 1 seed.
Okay, yes. I was about to say, don't get
We'll get to that in a second. We'll
yes.
talk about that in a second.
Now, then we'll go on to Jared's pick, and I won't show it first. So, Jared, like to tell us about your 4th seed and 5th seed pick, sir?
Okay, so for my 4th seed, I do have the excuse me, the NFC East. I think they're a lot better this year than they're given credit for, or definitely a lot better than they have been in years past. I mean, not including the Giants. I still think the Giants are a bad team because they have Daniel Jones at quarterback. But, the Commanders, I feel like they've gotten some upgrades. I don't really trust Carson Wentz, but overall as a team, I think they've gotten better. The Cowboys are the Cowboys. I feel like they've maybe gotten a little bit worse, but that's still a very high-powered offense who's going to be super solid, and that defense with Micah Parsons, it's going to be a very good defense. But the team that, shocked me the most with the NFC East is the Philadelphia Eagles. I feel like they made so many improvements all around the roster, trading for AJ Brown. I actually made these picks before the Gardner Johnson trade that happened. But that's another huge upgrade. Jalen Hurts, I think, is probably going to take a huge step. Devontae Smith, their second-year receiver, I was a huge fan coming out of the draft. I think he's going to be a stud. So I have the Eagles winning the division with a 12-5 record for the 4th seed. And for the 5th seed, so the first wild card spot, I have the division rival Minnesota Vikings with also a 12-5 record. I do have them as the same record as the Packers. Just a little bit of a spoiler there. I do have the Packers winning the division, but it's the same record. It was just from, like the head-to-heads and stuff. The Packers win the division. I'm very high on the Vikings. I think that they're super solid. I really like their head coach hiring. They have one of the best running backs in the league. They have probably the best, if not like top 3 wide receiver rooms in the league. It's a very solid offense, and their defense, I feel like, is very slept on as well. With that being said, when the two teams match up, I feel like this would be a very evenly matched team on paper as of right now. But in the end, I did give the edge to the Philadelphia Eagles on this one. I trust Jalen Hurts probably a little bit more than I do Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins doesn't show up in primetime games, and I don't think that's going to change.
Did you just spoil what the winner for this matchup is? Did you just do that?
Totally did.
Just want to make sure.
Maybe.
Jarrett? That's okay. No, it's all right. We'll get to it then. Okay. So Eagles then? You got the Eagles over the Vikings? Is that what's going on, Jarrett?
Did kind of get a little ahead of myself. Yeah.
So, you kept typing up the Vikings so much.
I know. Like whenever we did like the way too early ones before this, I did have the Vikings, I think, in like the NFC Championship game. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've gotten lower on Kirk Cousins since then.
Well, how about this? I'll just put that there. So just for right now, and then we'll go back.
We're not going to talk about it.
No problem. So for mine, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, since they do have a young quarterback. You guys don't know this probably because you haven't seen the PowerPoint because it was last minute here. But a young quarterback, and they also have one of the highest, if not the highest paid backup in the league right now. So I think at number 4, I do have the 49ers hidden up there. It's going to be great. I think this is really Trey's team right now, as you've heard from the leadership over there. And at number 5, I know they'll seem a little low because you can see that Jared has them at his number 1 spot right there. And I think at number 5, I do have the Rams. So that's my selection here. And as you can see also, spoiler alert, Chiefs are in the AFC first round bye. I think you guys have similar ones, Bills, right, for you both? Yeah. In the AFC? But we'll get to that later. So that's mine, 49ers and Rams. Yeah, we'll go from there. Tom, I'm not going to go to the next slide, but do you remember who you have in the first pick? So you have Bucks and Vikings. Who do you have going to the next round, sir?
Between the Bucks and the Vikings, who's going to the next round?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
Is it the Vikings?
Not the Vikings. The Vikings are taking them out. So look, here's the thing. Here's the number one thing we know about the Bucks. Just like the first year of Brady in Tampa, they started 7-5, ended the season 11-5. Why? Because they started figuring it out, and I believe they're going to start to figure it out. And Vikings are going to put up a pretty good fight, but yeah, the Bucks are going to win.
How do you feel about them losing their 5th string wide receiver, Tyler Johnson, to the Texans? How do you feel about that?
I don't feel very good about it. I think they should have kept him on. Jared here clearly doesn't agree with me, but what do you mean?
It's not that I don't agree with you. I think I probably would have taken it because I think he's better than the other options, but at the same time, I don't think it's the end of the world to lose Tyler Johnson.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, joke's on you because we got him now, sir. So Texans all the way. Tyler Johnson's going to tear it up over here. Just saying. Sorry. One man's 5th string wide receiver is another man's 3rd string.
That's why one team is in the playoffs and the other one's not.
Hey, that hurts, sir. Words hurt. Okay. Anyways, moving on. So, Jared, out of yours, you had, I think we already announced it, right? You got the Eagles coming.
I did,
up.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. Both these teams, I feel like the biggest question mark is quarterbacks. A lot of people are higher on Jalen Hurts than I am, but I still think he has the potential to be a playoff caliber, quarterback. Kirk Cousins hasn't really shown me that. Kirk Cousins has never really showed up in a primetime game whatsoever, and so I'm not expecting that to happen in the playoffs. I'm just not a big Kirk guy. Other than that, the team is superb. It's just a big question at quarterback for me.
So I understand Kirk Cousins hasn't really shown up that great in the playoffs, but I do want to point out the Saints had a really good defense when the Minnesota. Even before that play, it was just a 1-point game.
You cut out a little bit there, Tom. I did not hear anything except a 1-point game.
I think you said you were right, Jarrett, and I think you said that the Saints.
I was saying Cousins show up more than you give him credit for. I think.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think he's a stat patter quarterback, kind of like a. I don't need to get into the rant. Like I think he's more of a stat patter than a Prescott. I was gonna say more of like a Deshaun Watson, where it's his stats look like he's a top quarterback, but he's not a top quarterback. Because stats wise, Kirk Cousins is top 10. I'd put him more towards like 15 or like 15 to 18 range.
I don't think anybody would argue with you on that one, though.
His stats make him look a lot better than he actually is. He's a mediocre quarterback.
He goes to sleep at night knowing he took Drew Brees out of playoffs twice.
Ouch. Shots fired.
Just
was it?
I'm not saying he's better, but that's.
Yeah. No.
He took Drew Brees out of the playoffs twice?
Twice. Yeah.
I remember the one that's like the touchdown to Kyle Rudolph, but I don't remember the other one.
So
that wasn't Kirk. That was Case Keenum.
Oh crap! That was Case Keenum. You're right. So it was
my boy Case Keenum.
Oh
that's right.
Man.
That's right.
And I
don't know why I kept thinking that's Kirk Cousins.
I just follow along, Tom. I believed every word you said, and I just go, yeah.
I apologize.
What?
Keenum.
Next time
he played for Houston too. Should have known.
For the college, not the. Well, wait, did he play for the Texans at one point?
Yeah, he played for the Texans at one point when Matt Schaub kept throwing the ball over.
Why you gotta hurt me so much, man? I just pick six Schaub, 6 in a row. Anyways,
God,
let's forget about the past. We're moving in a new direction. Nick Caserio on the way. Anyways, so you got that one. For me. Come on, man. I mean, I know I talked up the 49ers, but there's no way I can go against the Rams. I got the Rams. I think similar to what you were saying about the Bucks, would you say, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Tony, you said the Bucks might start off a little slow, but kind of gain momentum as the season goes along. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think they're going to start slow. They play, I think in the first half of the season, they play the Ravens, the Packers, the Chiefs, Cowboys. Steelers, I don't think it's going to do too much, but they still have a very good defense that they're going to play against. So they're going to have some trouble the first 10 weeks of the season. It's not going to look pretty for them, I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I feel the same way. I mean, like the Rams are running in the same direction. I know the Super Bowl champs, and we expect them to start off strong and everything, but I feel like they're better off playing better towards the end anyways. They feel like they had more energy towards the last part of the season last year. So, and managed to get that last drive on. Never mind. We'll talk about that later or some other time in the flashback show. So, do you know who your third? Wait, is it? My screen is blurry. Is it third seed and 6th seed for you, Tom? Do you know who that one is?
Yeah. So 3rd seed. This might come as a surprise to Jared, considering he has the Eagles winning the division. So 3rd seed is actually the Cowboys. Now, again, do I know if they're going to beat the Bucks week 1? I don't. But overall, looking at an overall schedule, I think the Cowboys are going to do a good enough job. And this, again, has a lot to do with how much faith I have in the rest of the division. I really don't have – maybe I'm overlooking the Eagles. I don't have too much trust in Jalen Hurts at all. And then, to top it off, Washington – nope, no faith whatsoever there either. And then the Giants, the fact that they still have a quarterback that's worse than me playing football. That's why. So I have the Cowboys as a number 3 seed. Number 6 seed is going to be the 49ers. I have a lot of faith as far as them still fighting, making their way to the playoffs. Whether you hate him or love him, Jimmy G at the end of the day typically wins football games, and he is continuing to stay there as the backup quarterback. So even if he what's the dude's name? I already forgot his
Trey
name.
Lance.
Thank you,
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. I don't know why I just forgot his name. I keep messing up names today, don't I?
4C Trey Lance. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So even if Trey Lance, craps it out on the field, they have a very, very good backup quarterback now, I would say, because, until last year, this guy was a starter and made it to the NFC Championship game. So I think it's going to go pretty well, unless, of course, Trey Lance is starting to perform well. They trade him away, and then Trey Lance craps the bed. But either way, I think 49ers are going to find a way to win and get the 6th seed, which, again, considering when you take a look at the NFC, there really aren't too many teams where I can say, oh, there's no way you're not going to make the playoffs. So it's going to be between those two.
Yeah. So let me ask you the question. You have Cowboys and Niners. So hypothetical question, just to say Cowboys beat the Bucks week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that they beat the Bengals week 2? Because after that, they got Giants, Commanders. So they could start out 4-0 real quick. Do you think that that's a possibility if they beat the Bucks?
I think beating the Bengals is going to be a tough thing to do. So I'm very in and out on the Bengals for the simple fact that, hey, last year the Bengals made it all the way to the Super Bowl. Even though if you look at their entire thing, hey, Bengals probably won the division because of the injuries on Ravens, and Steelers nobody knew what the Steelers were. And even go on their way to the Super Bowl. They should not have won against the Titans. They put the Titans in the situation to win that game so many times, and the Titans just kept messing up on their end rather than letting the Bengals beat them. So I don't even think the Bengals should have been in the Super Bowl last year. Now, did they upgrade a lot? Yes, absolutely. Is that offensive line looking really good compared to what it was last year? Yes, absolutely. Do I think Joe Burrow is a really good quarterback who can take them all the way? Yeah, I think so. So I'm a little torn on where I want to put the Bengals, but can the Cowboys beat them? Yeah, I think so. I think they can.
Good. That'd be nice. That'd be a nice surprise for NFC East. Just to be able to have some competition there, because you do have the Eagles who are going to do well. I know, Jarrett, you got them high up on yours, right? Is that
the Eagles? I have at 4 winning the division, the lowest of the division winners. But I think the Eagles are a pretty solid team.
Yeah, agreed. So I think you're up next here, Jarrett. Would you like to announce your 3rd and 6th pick?
And I won't get ahead of myself this time either. So for the 3rd seed, which like Tom had mentioned, it's the top 3 seeds in the NFC are probably the favorites to make the Super Bowl. So I feel like this might be a little low, but I still think that they're a very solid team. In that number 3, I have the Green Bay Packers, the division rivals. Like I said, they have the same record as the Vikings with 12-5. My thing is, I think that the Packers, this is probably the best defense Aaron Rodgers has ever had, or at least close to it. Maybe it's as close to as good as the one that was the Super Bowl winning defense. My biggest question is his offense, which I know elite quarterbacks make their weapons better. That's always been a thing. Tom Brady is kind of the one most known for it, which he has decent weapons, but I feel like he doesn't have a true number 1, and I think that's going to hurt him. He also doesn't have a very I'm not confident in their tight ends with Robert Tonyan. I'm not super high on. Their offensive line is also banged up because Bakhtiari is a little hurt. Elton Jenkins, I think, is hurt as well. It's just not 100% healthy. So I think the offense is going to maybe take a step back, and that's why I have them only in 3rd. Again, they're still winning the division, so not bad whatsoever. And in number 6, I have the New Orleans Saints. I really like the Saints this year. I feel like they're going to be very slept on. Love their receiver room. You have Michael Thomas is coming back, Chris Olave, who I love. Jarvis Landry, I think, is a very underrated receiver in the league. And then, obviously Alvin Kamara, he's one of the top running backs in the league, a great receiving weapon. And I expect a big year from Jameis Winston. So I think that the Saints are going to be slept on, and that defense is one of the best in the league. Last year they shut down Brady both times, which is not an easy task to do whatsoever. So I think that the Saints are going to be a super, super solid team.
Apparently for them it is.
I mean, for them, yes, but that's not a common occurrence.
I mean, everybody, if Jameis can stay healthy, yeah, I don't see why he can't, keep that up and maybe move into that playoff spot. It's 6. Yeah, it's not a high spot, but I mean, all you need is a chip and a seat, as I say in poker world, right? So, so not bad. Packers and Saints. Let's go. I'll run off mine a little bit. Sorry about my noise, real quick. For me, I got. I think our playoffs are kind of lining up a little bit. I got number 3. I do have the Eagles at my number 3 spot. I think I know a little high, but I feel like in that division, I mean, like it can be anybody's game. It's going to be a pretty competitive run at it right there, and that's why at number 6 I have the Cowboys going in there. That's why I was asking you about the Cowboys and Buck situation. I think if the Cowboys are able to get a nice running start, if you will, at the beginning, that's a 4-0 start right there. And if you can go through that, then you can start going, like you got the Rams right after that, and then Eagles soon after. So, I mean, you're looking at easily a 5-1 start to start the season. So I think the Cowboys doing that, and the Eagles, like you said, the strong team they have right now going for them.
Did you still write down all the division rivals for wild card weekend?
I believe so.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, we have a few of those coming up. Yeah, so not a bad. That'd be sweet playoff weekend right there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that's mine right there. And for a lot of the same reasons y'all were talking about earlier, strong competition, especially in the NFC East, and these two teams are likely to go for it. So, Tom, what do you got for your 3rd and 6th seed winner?
3rd and 6th seed winner. So I think revenge gets served this time. They won't run the ball with 14 seconds left on the clock and try to spike it. So I think the Cowboys are going to win it. I know the Cowboys have not upgraded at all, and this is probably the most faith I've ever shown in that team because I just, for whatever reason, I hate them. It's probably not for whatever reason. It's probably because I live in Houston. But yeah, I don't like the Cowboys. I've never liked the Cowboys. I love talking crap about the Cowboys because, man, their fan base annoys the living crap out of me. And yeah, it's one of those. Hey, they do so well sometimes throughout the regular season, make the playoffs, and then make the dumbest decisions possible to lose games. They are going to beat the 49ers this time. And go ahead, whether that's Trey Lance or Jimmy G playing. They were pretty close last time. I'm not going to lie. They were driving down the field. I think some more time on the clock, they probably potentially could have done it. So we'll see. Yep. But
not too bad, yeah. I think if anybody can do it, Dak can lead them to the promised land. So wait, I think can you hear me okay, Tom? Oh no!
I hear you fine. Tom sounds like a garbage disposal.
Oh no! At least he finished his thought, though. We can move on to your Jared.
Just ignore him.
But for now, not saying ignore him. Just saying we'll come back to him in a moment. So Jared, you got your
for mine with the 3 and the 6 seeds. I'm going to get hated on so much for this. I'm going to sound so biased. I have the Saints beating the Packers. Listen, I kind of hyped up the Saints, and like I said, that Packers offense scares me. I think if anyone other than Tom Brady can make an offense look a lot better than it is, it's Aaron Rodgers. That's not a fun noise. Sorry, Aaron Rodgers is probably maybe the most talented quarterback of all time, and I think he's a superb talent at quarterback and can definitely improve that offense. But just on paper, right now, way too early predictions. That offense scares me, and the Saints' defense looks super impressive. I feel like it's very much slept on. And then like I said, I expect a big year from Jameis, and I think they have a team that's built to beat Green Bay in a sense. And that is what I am predicting to happen.
Oh, we lost Tom here.
Had some technical difficulties, I guess.
No, okay. I just muted his mic for a moment. I was going to bring him back. I wasn't kicking him out. I promise. Oh, let me see. You good, Tom? You good? Is everything all right, Tom?
Yeah, I'm just trying to relocate to see if I can help the noise.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
you sound fine now.
Yeah.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, and then I added you on, and it's like, yeah, you're not ready. So I'm
Just-
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take you off. Okay.
Just
All right.
stand in the hallway.
Yeah, I can see you when you come on. So just give us a thumbs up when you're ready to go, Tom. Anyways, is it my turn? I think. Yeah, my turn. I got the Eagles and the Cowboys. Did I say that? But I do have a little bit more faith in the Cowboys. So yeah, I did pick the Cowboys to go on to the next round. I like that. You know, I mean, I know I'm a Texas fan. I'm supposed to not like Cowboys, but how can you not like that? He's just a playmaker. He does everything he's supposed to do. Uh, um, let's see, is Tom good to go? Yes, I can hear you. Yay. I was just telling Jared here about my pick. I think the Cowboys are going to make it past the Eagles in the division in the wild card round. Just telling him how much I like Dak Prescott. So with that being said, you came right back in time for your picks for number 2 and number 7. Tom, what you got for us?
So number 2, Super Bowl champs, the Rams. I partially thought about putting the Rams ahead of the Packers for the number 1 seed. Jared made some really good points about the Packers, and I'll kind of get to that in a second. But as far as the Rams go, they are in a tougher division, whether you like it or not. 49ers can still beat them. They did during the regular season last year. The Cardinals, very well capable of. I don't know if they will. And so are which team have I not named?
From 2 and 7?
No, for who's in their division? Why am I forgetting all the names today?
Are you talking about like the Rams division?
Yeah.
Rams, the Cardinals, 49ers, and Seahawks.
Seahawks are going to crap the bed. But I think the 49ers, I think their divisional matchups are going to be tougher for them, which is going to put them behind just a little bit. I think ever since Wilson left the Seahawks, I completely forgot that team exists.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drew Lock isn't going to do anything, let me tell you.
I don't want to interrupt. Geno Smith was actually named the starter.
I was just thinking that. I was like, I think Geno got
just going to say that too, like considering that he lost the job to Geno Smith. Yeah, I don't think not much is going to happen there. But I have the Rams as number 2 seed. But here's a crazy thing. Jared, I was so close to making you happy by putting the Bears as the number 7 seed. And it was off by maybe like a game. Unfortunately, your team does not make the playoffs this year. Don't lose hope. They'll probably make it next year. I do have the Cardinals in the wild card round. So I have a divisional matchup as my 3rd and 7. Cardinals are going to play the Rams. That looks like a number 7.
The numbers are switched, or the teams are switched on the numbers there, Jose.
Did I put that backwards? I'm like, did you pick Cardinals at number 2? I might have done that backwards. Yeah. You know what? That's on me.
Yes, just to clarify, Rams are going to be the number 2 seed. Cardinals are going to be the number 7 seed. Cardinals are going to play the Rams on wild card weekend.
I tried so hard.
It's okay. You did good, buddy.
Yeah. So anyways, but yeah. So Jared, what you got for us, man? Number 2 and number 7?
Okay, so number 2, I feel like it's pretty obvious who I have my number 2, given the rest of my playoff layout. It's the Buccaneers, which I'm actually rocking a Tom Brady shirt. I did it for Tom.
Nice.
The Bucs, I think they're going to have a super solid year. I know, there's injury problems at the receiver position, but like I said, Tom Brady can make do. I could go run out there at wide receiver, and I could put up 1,000 yards with Tom Brady at quarterback. Tom Brady makes everyone look better. And, they still have Mike Evans, who I think is a very underrated receiver. Godwin, I don't know if he's playing week 1, but he's not going to miss that much time. Julio Jones had a really off year last year, but that's also in the Titans offense, which is not very wide receiver friendly. And then, they lost Gronk, but Cameron Brate is still a very quality tight end. And that offensive line is probably the biggest question because of all of the injuries. But I feel like if you have a good enough coach, you can scheme a bad offensive line to make it doable for a good enough offense. And that defense, it's good. It's been good for the past few years. So I don't think it's going to take a step back whatsoever. And for the 7th, again, the bias is going to come out. I do have the Bears as my 7th seed. I have them winning 9 games, so it's not like them being an actually amazing team. They're a 9-8 football team. And that's with me predicting Justin Fields taking that huge step forward that I'm expecting to us being a very, very solid team. I think that, like you said, would not be surprised at all if we don't make the playoffs or if we win like 6 games. It's a rebuilding year. But next offseason, the Bears have like over $100 million in cap space. So I expect a much better thing for the 2023-2024 playoffs. But for now, I put them in the 7th seed.
Nice. And with that being said, we are at halftime. Halftime, boys. This is it. We're not quite there on our little bracket here, but we can get there. We'll run it down a little bit faster here for the second half. Bucks and Bears. Very nice matchup. For me, at number 2, I do have the Cardinals at number 2. Cardinals going up there. I know. Don't look at me like that, Tom. Please. Okay, Kyler Murray over here, getting that big contract. He's going to be like doing amazing stuff over there, running around, passing the ball. I know he doesn't have his main wide receiver out there, but I think don't worry about it. He's going to be all right. So, and I do have the Packers at number 7, just sneaking right in there. Got to keep in mind he lost his best wide receiver. I don't know what y'all want to say about anything else, but he lost his best wide receiver. I'm not saying he's gonna like. Why you guys is this y'all quiet? Can y'all hear me?
I have a question and a follow-up question for you. It'll
I
be
think
really quick, I promise.
Is this microphone on?
I think I have the same question, but Tom, go ahead.
How many years did Devontae Adams play with Aaron Rodgers?
Quite a few. Why? 2?
How many years? Yeah, how many years has Aaron Rodgers been playing, and how many playoffs appearances has he had?
Yeah, but nobody as good as Devontae Adams. Come on, man.
I'll agree with that one with Jose, but
but
I'm not agreeing with the ranking whatsoever. But I'm just saying Devontae Adams is the best receiver.
Maybe I could have had it flipped. You know what? I'll give you that. Maybe I could have had it flipped, but
that's a big flip.
What's your follow-up question, though?
No, that was my follow-up question. One, hey, how many years did Devontae Adams play? And the other follow-up question,
I won't be taking any more questions. No comment.
I have a pretty important one, though. With the numbers of this rankings, it's physically impossible for the Packers to be the 7th seed because there's not an NFC North team in the top 4.
An NFC North team?
Yeah, like the Bears, Packers, Vikings, or Lions would have to be 1 through 4 for it to be divisionally accurate. So we could hypothetically say the Packers are 2 and the Cardinals are 7, and then it makes sense.
Way. Let's move on. Next one. Tom, what's your winner? I knew it. See, I rushed through this thing. I should have just
I rushed through it for division rivals.
I'll have a recap, an edit later. Whatever, Jared. Not being so accurate, okay? I'm playing Madden on rookie level right now, okay?
Well, so we're in the divisional round now, right? So Bucks are going to travel to Green Bay to play the Packers. Cowboys are going to travel to LA to play the Rams. Am I going over both of them?
Got your winner for
2 and 7.
My winner for 2 and 7. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, I just kind of ruined it. It's Rams. Look, Cardinals are going to beat the Rams in the playoffs. It's that simple. Cardinals crawl their way in there. They always crumble towards the very end of the season. Not always, but they've been doing it ever since Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury got there. And then the same thing is pretty much going to happen. There aren't enough challenges in the NFC, and that's why the Cardinals are even going to make the playoffs, and they're going to end up playing the Rams, who has a really good defense, has a very good offense. I mean, the coaching is fantastic. So they're probably going to beat them twice during the regular season and then a third time in the playoffs. This is not going to be a very tough, hard matchup for the Rams. Maybe they'll go 1-1 during the regular season because, at the end of the day, Cardinals aren't terrible. But listen, the only thing I'm leaning on is, hey, Cardinals crumbles towards the end of the season. And this is
all right, fair enough. All right, yeah, we'll kick it up a notch here into overdrive since right now we've talked about these. We got Cowboys and Rams. Next is you, Jarrett, with your 2nd and 7th.
With my 2 and 7, the Bears and the Bucks. like I said, I put the Bears in here at 7. It's kind of honestly out of pity because it doesn't matter who's the 7th seed in this scenario. If they're going to travel to Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers are going to wash whichever team shows up at that 7th seed. So it's going to be a blowout. Bucks win that one.
And in my dream scenario, my made up and Madden mode, the Packers win against the Cardinals because they're just that good to be able to go into it. So now, Tom, your Bucks and Rams. Oh wait, no, not Bucks and Rams. That's my matchup. Your divisional round, first seed versus the winner. I guess in this case,
so Bucks, the 4th seed, will travel to Green Bay to play the Packers, who's the number 1 seed, who's at a bye week, all that jazz. Here's the thing, guys. Week 3 will decide if this pick is going to stay or not, because week 3 is a Packers-Buccaneers game. And here's what I think is going to happen. Like Jared mentioned, Packers have a really good defense. I have more faith in Aaron Rodgers than you do. I think they're going to put a number on the Bucks. I think they're going to actually come out with a win against the Bucks in week 3. And because of that, that's where my faith in Brady comes in. And Brady being Brady, revenge tour, you go into the playoffs, you're going to play a team that already beat you during the regular season. No, sir, that's not going to happen. They're not beating you again. It's happened many times throughout his career. The Bucks are going to take on the Packers. And here's the unfortunate part. I like Aaron Rodgers a lot as a quarterback, but the second time the Bucks, after a bye week, go into Green Bay and put a number on Aaron Rodgers, that's going to put a huge dent in Aaron Rodgers' reputational legacy, unfortunately. But this might be Brady's last year also. So if he's playing like it's his last year, and if you were asking me to bet, hey, is he going to put everything out there on the field or just not care because it's last year, I'll say he's probably going to more than likely put everything he's got out there on the field. If Brady's willing to put everything he's got out there on the field, then I'm never betting against him. So I got the Bucks winning.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. What you got for us, Jarrett?
Okay, so for like we said, my number 1 seed is the Los Angeles Rams, and so therefore in the divisional round, the 6th seed New Orleans Saints are going to travel to LA. And in this scenario, again, 2 very good teams, but I do have my boy Cooper Kupp and the LA Rams walking away with a W in that one. I just think that defensive-wise, that Rams defense is going to be just as great as it was last year. Aaron Donald, he got a taste of one Super Bowl. He's probably going to go try and get another one. And so I feel like I said I was high on Jameis, yes, but it's also against one of the best defenses in the NFL. I think the Rams are going to win this one in LA.
Not bad. I do have a revenge tour too, slightly different. I got the Bucks in the number 1 seed. Is that okay with you guys? Is that okay, Tom? That I got the Bucks at number 1 seed.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Just make sure. I mean, I had the Packers at 7. Y'all had a problem with that. No, I'm just kidding. So Bucks versus Rams, and of course, the Rams are going to take it because that's how it works in this world. I'm sorry. That's where I kind of veered off a little bit. I think the Rams, it's going to just keep on rolling, keep the good times going, So that's for me right there. I will keep mine short right there, but we'll move on to the next one, which I believe is yours, Tom. Who do you have in the divisional round down below?
So I have the Cowboys traveling to LA to play the Rams. You guys obviously know who I have. The Cowboys.
I'm sorry.
This is a wild card pick on my end. I know Jared's giving me the dead stare right now. He's very confused about my pick. Yes. The Cowboys, for the first time in I don't know how long, is going to be in an NFC Championship game.
18 years? I don't know. It's been a while.
More than that, I think. They haven't made it up there since they won the Super Bowl last, which I believe may have been in 95.
Yeah, it was like 94, 95. I think it was like the early 90s.
Yeah.
I don't think they've been in the championship since then, though.
Yeah.
Man.
So about 27 years, right? I hope I'm doing the math right. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm feeling old now. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So this is going to feel like a fluke game. You're not going to see it coming. We're going to think, okay, here we go again. Cowboys made it all the way to the divisional round. It's going to get beat by Aaron Donald and Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, but they somehow pull it off, and they're going to make it to the NFC Championship game for the first time ever. and they're going to play the Buccaneers.
Not bad, not bad. What you got, Jared, for your conference championship, or like who's your representative?
The divisional round. I have the so it's the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Tampa Bay to face the Eagles, which is to face the Buccaneers, excuse me, which is like a rematch of the wild card from last year.
Mhm.
This Eagles team is a lot more improved than it was last year. I think this is a very solid team. But regardless of that, I still think that the Bucs outmatch them quite a bit just based off the quarterback position. Tom Brady is 1,000 years better than Jalen Hurts. I think with the fact that I'm gonna assume this is Brady's last year. I don't know because he could retire another 3 times and be the next Brett Favre. But I'm going on the limb that this is Brady's last year. I think he's got to have a fire under him, and at the very least, he's going to beat the Eagles in the divisional round and move on to the conference championship.
Seems reasonable to me right there. And then see what happens after that. It's my turn, right? Who do I got? I forgot who I had. 3 and 4. I got the Cowboys versus the Packers. And is that right? Did I mess it up? I had the Bucs, right? For you, Jared?
Yes.
Okay, the Bucs got that one down, and then for me, I got the Packers. I was like, I remember picking the Packers. I got to hit one more slide. My bad. So yeah, I got the Packers going to the next round. My make-believe scenario, which they should never be in right now because I messed up in the first wild card.
We'll just count them as the second seed, and then everything works out perfectly fine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking pity on my kind soul over here. So yeah, I got the Packers and the Rams going into the playoffs, into the NFC Conference Championship. A little redemption tour for Aaron Rodgers. See how he does on this time around for me. And then Tom, I guess right now, got your conference championship winner.
The first time in the history of National Football League, it's going to be the most amount of people hoping for Tom Brady to win a game because of their hatred for the Cowboys. And Brady will deliver. They're back in the Super Bowl one more time. Again, it's just, listen, if he's going to go to Green Bay and knock out Aaron Rodgers and make it to the NFC Championship game, he's going to beat the freaking Cowboys. And I can be more sure he's going to beat the freaking Cowboys in the playoffs if they meet up. Again, come week 1, if the Cowboys if Cowboys want to take a chance and win against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, then don't beat them in week 1. I'm just saying, don't do it. If you beat them, they will. If you meet again, they will beat you. Buccaneers are going to beat the Cowboys, and this is going to be one of those games. I think 2, maybe 3 quarters into the game, you're going to call it. Yep, it's done. It's over. Buccaneers are going to the Super Bowl. You don't even need to worry about what they're going to do in the 4th. So
that sounds pretty good there. What you got for us then, Jared? Who's your NFC Conference champion representative?
Okay, so in my scenario, I have the Rams and the Bucs, which is my top 2 seeds, which I know isn't very much of a shock. There's no upsets in my playoffs, I guess. I want more than anything for me to believe that the Bucs would win this game, but with the Rams defense, how solid it is, and Brady, I know is Brady. You never count out Brady, but with that the offensive line is banged up, but it's more specifically in the interior of the offensive line. And so who happens to play on the interior of the defensive line for the LA Rams is none other than Aaron Donald, in my opinion, the best defensive player of all time. I just can't see a scenario where Aaron Donald wouldn't absolutely feast in that game and just take over the game himself, basically. And then, you have Jalen Ramsey on the outside for the secondary. I'm not high on Bobby Wagner anymore. I think he's kind of washed, but he's still a quality linebacker starter. And I feel like Cooper Kupp is going to would have a great game as well. And so I have the Rams moving on to the Super Bowl for a second straight year.
I will say this and look, I think the Rams are very well capable of beating the Bucs if they go head to head because of Aaron Donald, but also do want to point out last year there were 2 injured offensive linemen, and I think it kind of happened last minute to where they couldn't build a good enough rapport with the backups that came into play in the game against the Rams. He also did not have Godwin, and some other receivers out too. I forgot who it was. But I think if Godwin comes back and he can actually build a rapport with this offensive line throughout the season, I think it'll be a tougher matchup for them in the postseason.
Yeah, like I'm not going to disagree with that. I mean, like obviously, if it's in the NFC Championship game, it's not going to be a guaranteed winner regardless. It's a toss up for who's going to win the game. But I wouldn't be surprised in my scenario if the Bucs came away with a win either.
Not bad. For me, I got the Rams and the Pack, and obviously, it's going to be the Rams. I agree with everybody else. The Rams and Pack. Let's run it back. So, anyways, I don't have a lot to say on that matchup right there, but I do think the Rams, like I said earlier, they moving into the end of the season, I think they're going to have a lot of momentum. Yeah, you got a lot of great players, and barring injury, I don't see them being able to get stopped, especially late in the season. So, see how it all plays out. Then we can move over to the AFC wild card. I guess Tom, you want to get started with number 4 and 5 on that side, sir?
Yeah, so 4 and 5 is going to be a very interesting matchup. For number 5, I have a team that I very much like with a quarterback that I very much like, and a lot of people are not very high on because they're in a very tough division. Yeah. The Raiders are my number 5 seed. So look, guys, I'm not going to overlook the Kansas City Chiefs. I kind of talked about how Mahomes is going to win the MVP. They're still going to win their division. But I do have the Raiders very close. They're going to be the number 5 seed as a wild card, and they are going to travel to Baltimore to play the Ravens. Why? Because, well, the Ravens are actually going to stay healthy this year, and they're actually going to go do pretty well this year. That's why. Yeah, so I think it's going to be a pretty fun matchup to watch. I love Derek Carr. Not a lot of people are high on him, but I think it's going to be a good matchup to watch.
I love that main wide receiver and everything, the one we were talking about earlier. I think he's going to be amazing over there. So glad you brought it up. Oh, wait, did I bring it up? I brought it up. All right. Now I would like to see that matchup too. That'd be nice, especially in the playoffs. I think some pretty intense game right there. What about you, Jared?
So for my 5th seed, I have, which is Tom's number 1 seed, the Kansas City Chiefs. So I do not have them winning the division. I still think they're going to be a very, very good team. I have them at 12 and 5. My only thing, I feel like they're going to be a great team, but there is one team I'm a little bit higher on, just slightly in that division. I think they're probably going to be one of the best, 5 seeds in NFL history, in a sense. I'm not trying to say I'm sleeping on the Chiefs whatsoever in this situation. For the 4th seed, I do have the Colts winning the division. I think that the division's theirs to lose. Obviously, there's the Titans, but I feel like the Colts are built just as so much of a better team. They have a better quarterback. They debatably, like, the running back position is debatable between Jonathan Taylor or Derrick Henry. Just overall, I think the roster construction of the Colts is a lot better. And so I have the Colts winning the division.
Okay, I was about to say, no, don't win.
I wasn't going to. I just had a brain fart and couldn't speak.
Fair enough. No, be a nice matchup right there. I'm interested to see how Matt Ryan can pull through right there. They had a good team. I mean, you're one piece away from getting it, so I don't see it being a long shot being in that 4th seed right there, and see how it plays out. For me, I have number 4 and 5. I actually do have the Colts also, but I have them a little bit lower. I have them number 5 spot, and number 4 spot, I got the Chargers. And before we get any further on this side, I just want to, in case anything doesn't even out like I did on the Packers over there, let's just suspend your disbelief and is that the right phrase? Suspend your imagination there for a minute and just let me ride with this bracket that I have made up here. Chargers and Colts, my pick. And Tom, what do you have for your 4 and 5 winner?
My 4 and 5 winner. I really want the Raiders to win it because, again, I love Derek Carr a lot, but I think the Ravens are going to be a more complete team, and I think the Ravens have a better coaching, at least a head coach, than the Raiders does. So I think they're going to win. I think the Ravens are going to win. It's going to be a close game. I'm going to feel very bad for Derek Carr, even though I picked the Ravens to win. I'm going to be rooting for the Raiders, but I think the Ravens are going to pull it off, and they're going to go up against. Obviously, you saw my number one, which is the Bills, so that's who they're going to be playing.
Nice one. And then Jerry, what do you got for your number 4 and 5 picks, sir?
For my number 4 and 5 with the Colts and the Chiefs, I do have the I have the Chiefs winning the game. I kind of hyped up the Colts more than I did the Chiefs in my introduction.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, I think, like I said, I think they're probably going to be like the best 5th seed in NFL history. They are a very good team. I know they lost Tyreek Hill, but I feel like they got a lot more depth at the wide receiver position, which will help out Patrick Mahomes a lot. And like Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. He's probably the best quarterback in the league. I think that the Colts, don't get me wrong, dark horse Super Bowl team. I think that they're a very well constructed team. I know Tom is higher on Matt Ryan than I am. I think Matt Ryan is a great piece, and I feel like he was definitely the quarterback they needed to get this offseason. But at the same time, I don't think Matt Ryan is enough to take out Patrick Mahomes.
No, he's got to have to do quite a bit to get through that wall right there. So for me, I think I'm not far off, but I got Chargers and Colts. So I got the Colts going through. I think the Chargers might be one of those teams that if they did. Chargers are good and everything, but I do believe Matt Ryan has the tools right now. They're not far off team, They got a good running game for the Colts right now. So I don't. The Chargers make it. The Chargers didn't make it to the playoffs last season, correct?
No, they lost in Week 18 to the Raiders and therefore did not make the playoffs.
Yeah. So I think this will be a stepping stone. However, for Herbert, I don't know if that's going to be enough of a moral victory right there to be able to make it to the playoffs. But I think this could be a chance for him, though. So this is a close game, anyways, 4 and 5. So that's my pick right there. So who's next on here? We got Tom with the number 3 and 6. Is that correct?
Yes, number 3 and 6. So, fun fact, boys. Jose, I followed your rhythm here. I went for a divisional matchup. But quick question. So, top 10 quarterbacks to have the most 300-plus passing yards. Number 1, Drew Brees. Number 2 is Tom Brady. Number 3 is Peyton Manning. Guess who number 4 is?
Number 4 quarterback have 300-plus?
Yes. It's my guy, Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan, okay. Nice.
Matt Ryan has the 4th most 300-plus passing yard games ever.
I do like me some stats. Thank you, sir.
This dude is so underrated, and he is now with a good team, with a good coach. And while he doesn't really have the prime Julio playing for him, I still think he can make a lot happen like he did with the Falcons before. So, yes, I think Matt Ryan is going to take the division over the number 6 seed, who's going to be the Tennessee Titans.
Nice.
Okay.
And as much as Ryan Tannehill might improve throughout the season, I think Matt Ryan is going to put up a good fight, and they're actually going to win too. I just wrote that. I wasn't supposed to do that out loud. But yeah, it's going to be the Colts and the Titans.
Not bad. What you got, Jared?
So for my 3 and 6, for my 6 seed, I have the defending AFC champions, the Cincinnati Bengals, and Joe Burrow, which kind of gives a spoiler that, I don't have them winning the division. But I do have the Bengals making the playoffs. I originally when we made the way too early one, I don't think I had the Bengals in the playoffs. If I did, it was very low and I wasn't very high on them. Mm-hmm. But seeing how they formed their team, what was wrong with the team last year was the offensive line. They got basically completely reconstructed their offensive line, and I feel like it's very quality now. They have a bunch of wide receiver options. Their defense was superb last year. It'll probably be just as good this year. I really like their first-round pick, Stax Hill. So I have them as my 6th seed. As my number 3 seed, I have the LA Chargers. Justin Herbert, I feel like, is going to be that guy this year, and I think he'll finally get into the playoffs.
I think I got this picks wrong. I'm sorry. I don't. Chargers and Bengals? Yeah. Sorry about that. I think I might have messed up the slides. But I think I'm good. Sorry to interrupt you there, buddy. I was talking out loud. I should have just kept my mouth shut. Is this right though? Bengals and Chargers.
That is correct. Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so we'll see. Just walk through me on this one and see if we can get through the next few slides here. Hopefully, we can do it right. But seems like a good matchup right there. Like, I mean,
Jared, I just want to point out real quick, and this is gonna get me some backlash. You have two teams playing each other that I don't have in the playoffs.
I'm going to be honest. I kind of wanted to point this out. I feel like the AFC is way more fun to talk about than the NFC because I feel like there's going to be a lot of teams that some of us have in the playoffs or even making it far in the playoffs who others don't even have in there. Because I think it was Tom had a team in there that I didn't even have in the playoffs. And I think Jose might have too. The AFC, like everyone except like the bottom dwellers, like the Jags and the Jets and like the Texans.
Oh, come on!
I had to include it. Yes,
no.
But all the other teams are like capable of being a playoff team. It's very, very like a lot of elite teams in the AFC.
Jose, I love you, man, but listen, I joke with Jared about being biased by putting Bears in places they probably don't belong. If you have the Texans in this picture, we're gonna have a serious talk.
Hey, sir, I am a professional podcaster here. Okay, not professional, but amateur podcaster here. Have a little faith in me, please. You just wait for my second seed over here. Just we're getting there. Just wait, you. Hopefully, I don't have that on there. Nope, I do have. Yeah, I know. So my picks for 3 and 6. Is the Broncos at number 6. Obviously, you got your good quarterback right there coming over. I think that should be a really powerful team right there. I am blanking out on his name for the Broncos quarterback.
Russell Wilson.
As soon as y'all said it, I knew it already. I don't know why I forgot it, but I was just kind of like thrown off because I did put the Browns on there. And
just signed a 5-year extension, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I did see that.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know why. And just what I was gonna say with this matchup right here, I think the Browns. What is Deshaun coming back week 7? I believe it is, right, against the Texans.
It got pushed back farther. It's week 11, or he's suspended through week 11.
No, that's right.
It's one of those. It's either week 11 or 12 that he's coming back, and he's going to be playing the Texans.
I think it's suspended through week 11, so he'd be back week 12.
I think the reason I said that is because yeah, you're right. He's coming back on the week where he plays the Texans. I think it is week 11 or 12. But he can be back on facility like week 7 or week 8. So he'll be practicing with the team for at least like a month. I think doing that, I mean, you're not gonna like start off from scratch. So this right here banks on a lot of their backups being able to keep the team alive for that long. So I think they can probably get in there and plenty of games left after that. And they're starting off against my team. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I do got the Broncos going in, let Russ cook, and then hopefully he can find his place with that team. Yeah, with that extension, I think even more, more bonus right there. Now he's comfortable and he's be able to move along. I know we haven't seen him play with that team yet, so there's still a lot to develop. But I mean, he knows what he's doing, so I have confidence in that. Next one will be yours, Tom. Hopefully the slides is right on this one. Tom, you got the next pick right there, right?
Yeah. So I have the number 2 and the number 7 seed. Is that the one we're talking about, or am I?
Yeah, 2 and 7.
I think you're doing the winner for 3. The winner for 3 and 6.
Well, I already kind of ruined my winner for 3 and 6, which is the Colts.
The Colts. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir. Jared, your turn.
Okay, so my winner out of 3 and 6, which I do have the Chargers beating the Bengals. Actually, I am very high on the Chargers. I love Joe Burrow. Don't get me wrong. I think Justin Herbert is probably a slightly better quarterback than Burrow is. Herbert has all of the tools you need, and I feel like I said, he's going to have a great year, and I think it's going to carry into the playoffs. That defense, if Khalil Mack stays healthy, he's still an elite edge rusher. And you have him on one side, Bosa on the other, and then you have a great secondary with Derwin James and J.C. Jackson. I think that team's going to be really good, and I feel like the the Bengals will just come up a little bit short on that one.
Gotcha. Not bad. Yeah. Let's see what's wrong with that right there. I would probably have a little more faith in Burrow. I got some good additions during the offseason. And we are now in overtime. I know. Got a new one right there. A new crawl right there. You like it, guys? Overtime? Sudden death, okay? So first team to get a touchdown or a field goal and then a touchdown. Hang on a second. Yeah, I got the rules. I know the rules, okay? So anywho, for mine, who do I have? Who do I have in number 3 and 6? I had Browns versus Broncos, and of course, Russ is going to be cooking now that I know his name. I got Broncos going in the next round. I think once he gets that momentum, it's going to be on, and it's going to be nice to see that during the playoffs too. Then now we can get to your number 2 and 7 pick, Tom, so we can give you a little more time.
Before I move on, did you really have the Browns as the number 3 seed?
Yeah,
I wasn't going to comment on it. I don't agree.
It's a lot of faith, man. Okay, all right.
To kind of carry on about that just real quick, I think even if they had Watson the whole year, I don't think they're the 3 seed. I don't think Watson's that great of a quarter. Like, I think he's a good quarterback. He's not elite. And I feel like with the roster, I don't think that they'd be the 3 seed even with him. And I'm even less high on Jacoby Brissett, who I think is a bottom 3 starting quarterback. He's nothing better than a average backup at best.
That's fair.
That's a little harsh, I know, but
maybe I should move down to 6 seed. Yeah, let's go ahead and just flip those. Okay, I got Broncos in 3 and Browns at 6. Is that better?
I'm holding you to this.
Guys, I did a disclaimer before we got to the side, and I said you guys need to suspend your disbelief and let me run through this side. I said it. You guys are not abiding by my disclaimers, okay? But it's fair. You know what? It's very fair what you're saying. So, Tom, I think we're getting a little feedback on your side. You good?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
Even quieter. The same. You're rocking.
Different.
Oh, wait.
Oh, okay. I can hear you now. Go ahead.
You are rocking with the technical difficulties today.
I'm really not doing anything different between.
We're gonna have to add subtitles to your audio.
Okay, fine. So I'm just gonna type in all my comments. Can y'all hear me okay though?
Now I hear you great.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. No, you're it's fine. So another divisional matchup is going to happen between the 7 and the 2 seed. So guys, listen, it's very obvious. I have the Bills as the number 1 seed. So of course, my number 2 seed is going to be Kansas City Chiefs. Another divisional round matchup. The Broncos are going to go to Kansas City and take on the Chiefs. Again, I don't have the Chargers making the playoffs. They're going to miss it. I'm not going to have all of them making the playoffs. I think the Broncos, in the beginning, might struggle just a little bit because if Russell Wilson needs to get into the groove of things, it's easy to say, oh my God, it's Russell Wilson. Let him go out there, play, do all that. But they do have a good, solid team. Once he gets into the groove, he's going to start playing really well. I still have some faith left in Russell Wilson, and I think he's going to do pretty good, get their team there, and play a playoff game.
Seems reasonable to me. I mean, I like Russell just as long as he can match in with the team and fit in. You know, I mean, he's going to be there for a little while anyway. So I don't see that being bad right there. Broncos and Chiefs would be quite a matchup in the playoffs. So what do you say, Jared?
I like his picks a little bit. When we go to mine, which it'll make you probably disagree with mine, obviously, with my number 2 seed in the AFC, obviously there has to be an AFC North team because I didn't have the Bengals in the top 4. I actually have the Ravens winning the division as well with the number 2 seed at 14-3. Like Tom had mentioned earlier, they're going to be healthy. I think Lamar Jackson is going to come back. He was great last year when he was healthy. He just wasn't healthy for very long. They had none of their top 3 running backs. They didn't really have any offensive weapons other than Mark Andrews to begin with. And they're getting everyone back. And I think that they had one of my favorite drafts, if not my favorite draft in the entire NFL. Kyle Hamilton at safety, I think is a generational talent. I think he'll be a great safety very, very soon. And I think Lamar Jackson will have a very, very good comeback year. For my 7th seed, which is going to tell you who didn't make it for the AFC for me, for my 7th seed, I do have the Raiders making it. So that means I don't have Denver in the playoffs at all, which, again, it was so hard to pick 7 for the AFC. There are so many good teams. My thing with the Broncos, I love Russell Wilson and I like their offense, but I don't really like their defense, which is weird saying given they've been a defensive team for so long. I think Bradley Chubb is a solid pass rusher, but their secondary is questionable outside of Justin Simmons and Patrick Surtain. But their linebacking core is probably one of the worst in the league, in my opinion. And I feel like they don't have enough pieces on that defense to compete with how good of offenses are in the AFC or just how good of the teams in the AFC are. So I don't have them making it. The Raiders, originally I had the Broncos in 7, but last minute I switched it and the Raiders made it over them though. The Raiders, I saw a thing on Twitter, which kind of like, I didn't realize it till I saw it. The Raiders are a very weird built team because for the most part, almost every position is either like a top 5 group or a bottom 5 group minus like quarterback or running back. Like they have a top 5 pass rush, but then they have like a bottom 5 secondary, and it's insane. But I think the Raiders, I really like Derek Carr on our quarterback ranking list. I had him probably too high. I got flamed into oblivion for that one. But I really like Derek Carr, and I really like Devontae Adams. I think he's going to open up the field a lot for the Raiders offense. And so I have the Raiders making it, just squeaking by the Broncos for the 7th seed.
Not bad, not bad. Tom, what do you got for us, sir?
The winner?
What happened?
Are you asking me who I got winning?
Oh, no, I mean, like, no comments.
Oh, I don't. I just think it's very interesting. We have the same exact matchup, just at a different placement.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you also have them playing the Raiders.
I got the Raiders playing, going to Baltimore and taking on the Ravens, and you have basically the same exact thing.
You haven't seen my number 2 seed yet. I think this team hits close to home, if you will. No, I'm kidding. I got the Ravens versus the Bills. I know I got the Bills low. I know. I meant to.
Just gonna leave.
Just
now.
bear with me, okay? Listen to me. I got. I was rushing through this, so maybe I should have flipped that. I probably. You know what? I should have flipped that. I'm not gonna say maybe. That's meant to be flipped. Okay, numbers were a little blurry on my side. I'm an old man. Let me just get my glasses and then.
Listen, here's the thing. Forget the fact that you don't have a division winner, but how do you reckon after last season the Bills are going to go all the way down to being the number 7 seed?
No, yeah, they're meant to be number 2. See, I got my glasses now. I can see better now. Everything is much clearer.
I like it.
Thank you for understanding. Moving on.
Got a very sophisticated look there.
I appreciate it. After you, Tom, what's your next? What's your winner? That's supposed to be flipped, okay? I didn't have my glasses on, and I have them right here, so you can tell that I'm telling the truth. Okay, so
between the Broncos and the Chiefs, I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. But ultimately, in the end, the MVP is going to take the game. The Broncos are not going to win. They're maybe listen in the future. The way Russ is playing, if they built on the team they have right now, they can potentially go win a Super Bowl, considering he just signed a 5-year extension. I think I think the expectation should be a Super Bowl. That's the sole purpose of Broncos getting Russell Wilson over there, but not this year. The Chiefs are going to win again. They're going to go into the divisional round.
Very nice, very nice. It's a good matchup right there. What do you got? What about your winner, Jarrett?
So for my 2 and 7 between the Raiders and Ravens, again, I really like the Raiders team, and I think Devontae Adams is a big step towards a championship, but not quite this year. I still have the Ravens winning. Like I said, I loved their draft. I loved their offseason, and I feel like they added so many pieces and people coming back healthy that they're going to be a dark horse sneaky team for a Super Bowl.
Not bad. Well, for me, let me see here. Maybe this will make everybody feel better. I do have the Bills winning, if that makes a difference. So they're a low seed, but they win their division.
It fixed it a little, so that's good. I
mean, I didn't have them like losing. I didn't like first round. There's no way. I think they're going to. Oh, No spoilers here. Nope, nothing. Let's move on to your.
I do want to point out something. Again, I'm not hating on your bracket, but you know, like how rarely the 7th seed wins, and you have the 7th seed winning both of these.
But in my defense, which is a terrible
You
defense,
should have been in the 7th seed.
yeah, the Packers shouldn't even be there, like you said. So that's, and then on this one, they should have been flipped because I wasn't wearing my glasses, as mentioned before. But thanks for highlighting my bracket here. This is really embarrassing right now, but go ahead.
Hey, you listen. You put a lot of hard work into it, so I do want to give you credit. Don't. It's okay.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. It means a lot.
Man took the time and filled in all 3 of the brackets we sent him, and it's just a bunch of lines with a bunch of names. It can be all over the place.
I'll make some edits along the way here. It'll look better next week. I hope. But so we move on. I appreciate the kind words, but what let's see here. Then we're moving on to your pick, which is divisional round winner from between your number 1 and I believe it's Ravens, right? Or did you?
Yeah. So between Raiders and Ravens, I already said the Ravens are going to win, so they're going to go play the Bills, who Jose has his number 7 seed. I have his number 1 seed.
Where do you have the Chiefs? Oh, never mind. Let's go ahead.
They're a great team. They really are. Last year, I know I joke about the coin flip thing all the time, saying, well, it's not just the coin flip that got them beat. But, I mean, listen, the dude drove down the field in 4th quarter with barely any time left on the clock and scored. I mean, that is a great quarterback stat right there rather than a good quarterback. You're in the playoffs. You're playing a really good QB. And it was just unfortunate that, 13 seconds left, their defense couldn't make a play to stop them. So it is what it is. Bills are great. I think they're just as good as they are last year, if not better. So yeah, they're gonna play the number 1, and just on how much I'm talking up the Bills, you already know who's gonna win the game. So I'm not even gonna. Yeah,
spoiler. Not bad. I mean, no arguments here. What about you, Jared?
Fair enough. So I have actually a rematch from last year's divisional round with the coin flip with the Bills and the Chiefs, because I also had the Bills, as the number 1 seed. I really like this matchup, and if it hypothetically happens in my scenario, I would love a rematch in this game. There's only one slight difference. Is even if it gets to overtime and the Chiefs get the ball first and score, I'm pretty sure they changed the rule to where the other team gets a chance. And in this scenario, the Bills come out on top. I stand by that. That would have happened last year if the rules were as such.
I think it would have been a 3 and out, and they would have punted the ball away, and they would have lost. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Josh Allen had a perfect playoff up until the point.
Jared, you have your last year's Super Bowl matchup leading up to this year's Super Bowl matchup, don't you?
You will see. I'm making no promises. I also want to point out, though, last year when we did this, I did predict the Super Bowl winner. So you should take everything I say as the truth.
We do have the brackets available at the Cool Sports Guy on the Instagram page. So if everybody wants to go back and look at those, they are available for proof. So I just want to throw that out there. I'll repost those later to make sure that everybody knows where we stood last year. But let's see here. What was I? Oh, my pick, right? So I got the Chiefs, and who's my 4th and 5th? Colts. Come on, guys. Wait, that's your pick, Jarrett. I'm sorry. You got the Bills. Now my pick, the Chiefs. So Chiefs are going on to the next round, beating the Colts in the divisional round and all that. Enough said. I think everybody's talked high about the Chiefs, so I don't think I can add any more gems to that. That being said, Tom, I believe that's you're next on the list with the second divisional round matchup.
Yeah, so my second divisional round matchup is going to be Colts at Chiefs. Obviously, And again, it's going to be another great game. I think there's two great quarterbacks and two good coaches and two good teams going up against each other. At the end of the day, you are playing in Kansas City. At the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes is better than Matt Ryan, as much as I love Matt Ryan. And at the end of the day, push comes to shove, I think the Chiefs are going to take it, and they're going to go up against the Bills in the AFC Championship game, except this time they have to travel to Buffalo.
No coin flips this time. It's going to be
they're not taking this game overtime, buddy.
It's going to be in regular time. It'll only be 60 minutes long. That's it. Anyways, it's just my thoughts. No more coin flips. Glasses. Jared, your turn.
Alrighty, for the second divisional game, I do have the Chargers playing the Baltimore Ravens, which I don't know. Whatever teams go to the playoffs in the AFC, I think every single game in the AFC playoffs is going to be a great game. So I'm going to stop sounding like a broken record and repeating that. But I would really like to see this matchup. But I think also the team I like slightly more out of these two is actually the LA Chargers. I think Justin Herbert, I know would be his first playoff appearance, and to go this far is pretty insane. Burrow just did it last year, so I feel like it's not that much of a surprise for him to win multiple playoff games his first year there. So I really like the Chargers, and I have them winning this one.
Fair enough. Just one more thought, though. As great as the playoffs can be this year, I don't think anything can top last year's playoff run. I don't know if any other year will live up to that kind of glory right there, but we can see. Maybe it can happen. Maybe every game ends by 2 points instead of every game ended by a field goal last year, right?
Yeah, it was insane. I will. Yeah, your last year's playoffs were amazing.
It was great. I loved every minute of it. So this leaves us to the conference championship. Tom, who do you have going and representing the AFC?
Representing the AFC, so obviously the Bills are playing the Chiefs at home. And listen, this time there is no overtime. This time there is no coin flip. This time it's a revenge tour. This time, for the first time in the playoffs, Josh Allen gets to beat Patrick Mahomes because third time is a charm. And this time, the Bills are going to the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Just take my word for it here. I don't know why your slide's not there, Tom. Anyways.
I think you skipped yourself, Jose.
Did I? That's Jared?
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Jose?
Yeah, I think you skipped yourself.
Did I really?
Yeah.
You guys know what was going to happen. The Broncos are going to go play the Chiefs in the AFC conference. That goes without saying. Anyways, we're into double overtime now, so let me go ahead and so is this right? Tom's pick got Bills and Bucks going to the Super Bowl. And what about you, Jared? Who you got going to the Super Bowl?
Okay, as Tom pointed out, how this seems eerily similar to my prediction from last season, where I had the Bills and the Rams playing each other. The Bills are sitting here in the AFC Championship against the LA Chargers. But I don't have the Bills winning this one, actually. I have the LA Chargers coming out on top against Buffalo. I'm very high in Buffalo. I've made it known for a long time. But the Chargers just, I don't know. I have a gut feeling about the Chargers this year where I think they are going to be a very, very good football team. And so I do have them beating the Bills. I think their defense is going to outplay the Bills defense in this one. And I have the Chargers winning. And Tom doesn't seem to agree with me based on his facial expression.
I really, really like Justin Herbert, and Chargers are really they are very solid, but they haven't even made it past. Have they even made it to the wild card?
Herbert has not.
I mean,
yeah, I don't agree.
It's always the first time.
Yeah, I guess. You're taking the full leap the first time, man. Yeah. So you got the Chargers. Okay.
The Battle of LA in my Super Bowl.
Oh wow, yeah, that's very
interesting.
Storylines, storylines. You're doing the loud noises again.
I just muted you for a moment. Let me just step back for a second. And
How about now?
Okay,
yeah,
now you're
good.
good.
I was just saying it was awesome at the game.
You're muffled.
Okay, just go.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tom. Technology's against you today, but we'll fight it. We're gonna keep fighting this fight. Okay, don't worry about it, man. Oh God, did I do that? Wait, that's my pick. Yeah, the Broncos are going to the playoff, to the Super Bowl, and they're gonna be playing the Rams. Russ is gonna keep cooking all the way to the big game, and this time, I'm not gonna spoil the winner. That's the next pick. So first, we're gonna go with Tom's pick for the Super Bowl winner.
If you can hear me.
Yes.
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna try and not move and just talk really fast so I can get through it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so obviously the Bucs and the Bills are going to be playing in the Super Bowl. Josh Allen gets a shot. Last time he played Brady, he didn't come through. This time, he still won't come through. Listen, they're playing in Glendale, Arizona, so Bills are going to have to travel very far. So are the Bucs. But here's the thing: Brady has been to Glendale, Arizona, not just to play the Cardinals, but also to play other teams in this so-called Super Bowl many a times. If the Bucs are going to figure it out at the end of the year and take their team all the way to the Super Bowl, and again, guys, listen, this is the most biased I've ever been because I never bet against Brady, but this is the worst year to not bet against Brady, and I'm still not going to bet against Brady. If they figure it out and is good enough to take it all the way to the Super Bowl, I am not betting against them to lose the Super Bowl, especially if it's going to be his last year. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a high-scoring, crazy game to watch. I just see, you just say, hey, as great as Josh Allen is, when game's on the line, who do you have your trust in? I have my trust in Tom Brady. So I got the Bucs winning the Super Bowl.
You didn't say the Bucs. You actually said the GOAT wins again. So I wrote that down. GOAT wins
that's fair. I did. Yeah. That's actually on my piece of paper right here.
Yeah. So I mean, I gotta quote
Tom
you
Brady
accurately. Yeah. So the Bucs are
a GOAT.
The Bucs will be eliminated shortly before the bell rings, the final buzz or whatever, and the GOAT is going to take the win. He's going to carry the.
Well, it's like I told y'all last week. It's Tom Brady against 31 teams. So
it's understood. No arguments here. And he even took a 2-week vacation before the season starts. So
extra rested.
He deserves it.
I'm going to call it a vacation. Who knows what it is? Anyways, go ahead, Jared. Who's your Super Bowl winner, sir?
Okay, so like I said, we have the Battle of LA. I know, obviously the NFL is not staged, but I feel like all these storylines just so happen to happen every year anyways. And so the Battle of LA makes a lot of sense to me. It'd be a cool tagline for a Super Bowl. And like I said, when I predicted the Super Bowl champion last year, which was way before the season even started, I was correct with the Rams. So obviously I'm a prophet of some kind. And so this matchup, you have the young gun, Justin Herbert, one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league already, with some great offensive weapons. He has a defense for the first time in his entire career. They're going up against the LA Rams, who are my bandwagon team because my Bears can't seem to ever win any games. Aaron Donald, the best defensive player of all time, and I will keep saying that because I think it's without a doubt true. Great defense, great offense. And, my boy Cooper Kupp, one of the best receivers in the NFL, if not the best. But I do have the Rams coming up short, and I do have the LA Chargers being your Super Bowl champions.
Wow. Plot twist.
I know. That's why I said I thought it would be surprising. Everyone would expect me to pick the Rams because that's my backup team. I love Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's probably one of my favorite players in NFL history, but I'm switching it up. And it'll be another few years before a team wins back-to-back Super Bowls. Chargers are your champions.
I don't know.
You guys see how the Broncos winning, don't you?
Excuse you, sir. Come on. Do you see the shock that I have right now? I mean, I know I got into the Super Bowl, but sir, the Rams are winning the Super Bowl. They're going to be the first back-to-back in how many years? Since Tom Brady did it back in when?
04.
Yeah.
03, 04.
Yeah, so that'll be the first team.
All right.
I mean, I'm not completely crazy. I'm a little bit, but not too much. but I think it looks pretty good. I mean, played out pretty well. We'll go ahead and post these on the socials so everybody can have proof of my wrongdoings over here with the all the weird brackets. But any closing thoughts on this bracket for anybody?
I mean, I'm sure I'll have a lot, especially throughout the season once we see how teams are playing. But right now, there's not much to argue right now because we never know what's going to happen. It's just the pre-season predictions. I mean, Jared has a team that's not, that's going to win the Super Bowl that I don't even have making the playoffs. So
I do really like the variety. Because like all of our brackets are very, very different, especially Jose's.
very different.
They're all very different because like I think both of y'all had the 49ers in the playoffs. I don't have them. I don't have the Cowboys in the playoffs either. Like Tom said, I have the Chargers winning the Super Bowl. He doesn't even have them in the playoffs. So the variety is nice. But like I said, I am a prophet. I predicted it last year, and I'm going to predict it right this year as well. So everyone place your bets because it is guaranteed the Chargers win the Super Bowl this year.
All right. In my defense, I did spend 80% of my time distributed towards the PowerPoint and the other 20% to not knowing what divisions were in my bracket. So, but I do know, yes, it's mathematically impossible for what happened. But yeah, we'll keep a track of them and we'll discuss them along the way. Thursdays, everybody watching right now, make sure you tune in every Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Time. Be good to check us out, go through all the stuff, and keep track of all our individual honors predictions too that we had earlier. So we'll kind of keep track of all the players, make sure to see how they're doing along the way. But yeah, it should be definitely a fun season. 1 week from today. What do you think? You guys excited?
The thing I'm most excited for is for my redemption on the picks of the week with me and Tom because he absolutely wiped the floor with me last season.
Yeah. Oh yeah, gonna keep track of that. Yeah, definitely be good to see that. Let me see. I'm trying to like organize here so everybody can see our socials, but everything's in the way. So if y'all just give me 1 second. Of course, everything's in the way right there. But sorry, you guys want to like fill in for a second? There you go. Last closing thoughts for me right there, guys. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube too. I forgot to mention that last week. We also have the page. Just look up Cool Sports Guy on YouTube. We're always there. Make sure you subscribe, share with your friends. And yeah, we'll see you guys back here next week, right?
Right before the game.
And we'll get Tom's audio situated before then. It'll be all right. Hey, yeah, it's going to be good. No problems there. So, all right, closing out. Let me go to the video and